Hello YouTube, this is Kazeel. Welcome to another episode of Age of Engineering. And in today, man, we're gonna get started with our... Oop, I wanted to hit my hammer. The hammer doesn't look too great, does it? It's just kind of like a frying pan, actually. It's like I'm just gonna smack you in the face with a frying pan. This actually looks like a sword. This looks like... I'm like a little, I don't know, meat mallet thing? I don't know, whatever. Anyway, today's episode, guys, we are going to get going with, oh, I didn't have enough power in there. We're going to get going with the metal former. So we've got the macerator created, right? We've done that. And that macerator is going, oops, I guess I have a gajillion sticks now. Wow. I can't believe I just did that. That's amazing. Okay, well, we're going to use them all for tinder anyway. Okay, so... yeah, so the macerator here, it has taken our resource requirements and halved them. Okay, so by doubling all of our ores, I can account for half of what I actually need. So let's see. Let's come in here. The next thing we need, right, is the metal former on the list. So like, if you remember, to make an iron plate, I need 2 pieces of iron ingots. So in total, I would need 16 ingots here, right, to make this. Without the macerator, that's 16 ore. But since I can double my ore, that means I only need 8 ore in order to make this basic machine casing, which is awesome. It just halved everything that I needed for resources. Now the metal former is going to do that again. So it's going to let us, in regards to making industrial craft stuff. So whenever I need to make like a an iron plate, the metal former is going to let me only use 1 ingot instead of 2. So if I come up here to the metal former, it's just 1 ingot per iron plate, which is awesome. Okay. Let's see. I am kind of trying to think and talk at the same time, and you know that that's never ever a good idea. Okay, so I'm putting stuff together for today's episode. I went ahead and did a bunch of mining. I should take you down to my mining area and kind of show you what all I've cleared out. But this is all we're going to be using for today, okay? So we've kind of got the steps that we need, and we're going to do it all kind of together in a process. So the first thing I want to do is show you how to make bronze. Bronze is something that you're going to need some of, maybe not a lot of, but some of for sure. So what I want you to do is I want you to come to your ore chest here, grab 3 copper and 1 tin, okay? Take these over to your macerator and stick them both in your macerator. So we're going to do the tin first. Should have brought some sticks with me. It's going to go through probably that whole stack of sticks. Oh man, I really wanted the planks. Oh well, that's okay. I'll just keep a stack of sticks on me. That's fine. We'll refresh it whenever we can. Yeah. Okay, so that's done, and then I'll put the 3 copper in there. It's 3 copper, 1 tin. So we're going to get a total of 6 copper dust, crushed copper, and 2 crushed tin. Yeah. So when that's done, sorry, I'm getting some texts from my wifey. She just told me she loves me. I love her too. Okay, so what you're gonna do as soon as I get a 3rd one here, I'll show you kind of how to make the bronze. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to put them in your crafting grid like this, and that's gonna give you 4 bronze dust. That's really good. Okay, so then we're gonna take that 4 bronze dust and stick them in our furnaces in the other room. So that's how you get bronze, and we're gonna need a bunch of bronze. Actually, we're gonna need how many? 15 for today. Okay, so make enough to make 15 bronze. Yeah. We're just going to come over here. We're going to grab one of those because that's 8 exactly. Perfect. And we'll stick you in there. Great. Okay. So what I want you to do... Oh, I need 6. Well, it's a good thing I'm making another one. I miscounted. You need 16, not 15. Okay, so make enough to make 16, and you're going to do a pattern just like this, and this is your wrench. This is extremely important. Remember how I said in the last episode that you don't want to pick up your machines with your pickaxe? Oh, by the way, I put a diamond on here. Extend that durability just a little bit more. I had just enough diamonds, 4 to make our metal former, and then I had a 5th one. It was perfect. Okay, so if I were to hit this with my pickaxe, I would just get a machine casing back. I wouldn't actually get the generator. Actually, the generator I think stays in place. These, I would just get the machine casing back. So what you want to do is you want to shift, right click, and you get your furnace, your generator back. So I'm going to actually come through the wall here, and we're going to put our generator up 1, and then we're going to try and connect that with, ooh, let's go get, I need my tools. I'm going to use copper cable, and that's going to be okay. Again, if you don't do the team thing, don't use copper cable. It has a potential of sending too much power to your machines, and they'll blow up and you have to remake them, and you're gonna cry because everything's expensive in this mod pack. All right, so we're gonna make got some copper cables here. Oh, I only have enough to make 8. That's okay. That is plenty. Okay, so we're gonna come out here and we're gonna do that. That's gonna connect to the bottom of my macerator. And this is going to connect to the bottom of my generator. And then the next thing we're going to make is the bat box. So remember how I said that in the last episode there was there's this thing that we can make that stores energy. Now our generator actually can store energy. It can store, I think, 4,000. This bat box can store 40,000. I think that's what that said. Yeah. So 10 times as much, which is crazy, which is awesome. So this line here, this is for the bat box, so we're going to take all of that, and we're going to run over here to our, actually I should make a crafting table kind of in each room. That would be nice. Can I do that? Sure. That way I don't have to run back and forth. That would be fantastic. That's a great idea. Also, just as a side note, kind of stepping back here, I opened up these doors, the doors that I'm going to be using, and I want to do something other than just, you know, the mineral all the way around here. I want to do something different, and I tried a bunch of different things. Nothing's working to my liking yet, so I haven't really put those in yet. I'll try and do something. I thought I'd go with a wood. That's not really working out, so I might go with like a brick or something. That might be better. We'll see. And then I opened this up all the way. I think that looks better. It's not as cramped. It's a 3x3 door. I think that looks fantastic for our for this room. And I think what I'm going to do here is I might do blue stained glass all the way up. Maybe in a pattern. Maybe do it like around here, and then in the middle we'll have water going down or something. Kind of stick with the blue pattern. Might be cool. We'll see. I don't know. Haven't decided what I want to do yet. Okay, so to make the bat box, we're going to need 3 batteries and 4 insulated tin cables. So let's do that. Get the 4 of those, and let's go ahead and shift click these. We've got all those ready. The 3 batteries, those don't stack, and then we'll shift click the wood into there. There we go. That's the awesomeness of being prepared. So ready. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to place this so that we're facing into the generator. So the generator's on the back of this. Input is over there, output is over here. We want to be facing the input so that the output is going to be facing towards us, right? So another way to, you can hit you want this white thing here. If that doesn't happen, like if you went ahead and tossed it down and your white circle is over here, all you have to do is you can either shift right click and it sends it back that other direction, or you can come around to where you want it to face and right click with your wrench and simply connect it with cable and put your sticks in there. And so now you'll see the power is increasing here, and you know, being able to have 44,000 EU stored up is going to be really handy for us, because this metal former takes more power than this thing produces. This produces 10 EU per tick. I think this consumes 4. I might be I don't know what that takes actually, but it's less than 10. And our metal former is actually going to take more than 10. So having this battery is going to be kind of a huge deal. And I put the macerator here because I want to put a furnace here. I kind of did that on purpose, and I'm kind of designing The next thing we want to make, guys, is the compressor. Okay, remember how I said in order to make the metal former, we're going to need a compressor. So if we come in here to the metal former, right, we'll look at the recipe. The recipe doesn't look too bad. You don't know what these are. I'll show you what those are in a minute. The toolbox here is what needs the compressor. So we come in here, bronze item casings, we can make those, no big deal. But then there's this storage crate from Actual Editions. We don't know what that is. This is going to take dense gold plates and dense iron plates, which is bonkers, man. That's a lot of gold. That is a lot of gold, especially when you don't have a metal farmer. So this is going to take 9 gold plates per dense gold plate, and we need 2 of those, guys. We need 2 of those. So you need 18 gold plates, which means you're going to need 36 gold, which is crazy. And we're going to need a lot of iron here. I showed you kind of what's all required here, so if you wanted to pause the video, maybe at the beginning when I had the bat box in here too, you can pause the video and go collect all those things if you want to, and then come back and play around with me. That'd be cool. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is the compressor. Now the compressor I'm going to put in a weird spot, okay? So we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna put the compressor up here. Okay, and then when the compressor's done, we're gonna put our metal former right here. Yeah. Okay. Now you don't have to do it exactly like me, but I've kind of thought out what I want to do, and I think it's gonna work out really well. Okay, so let's grab the things we need for the compressor. You're gonna need 9 iron plates, 2 redstone, 6 rubber, 6 copper cable, and andesite or diorite or stone, whatever you want to do. No big deal there. It can kind of be whatever. Okay, so we're going to take 6 of those, and we're going to make our, I forget what this thing's called, electric circuit. Yep, that's what it's called. We're going to make ourselves, here, let's just go ahead and go to, so I'm not guessing here. I don't want to guess and mess up. Let's go to compressor. The compressor is actually not that hard when you look at the recipe, right? So it's diorite, polished diorite, andesite, polished andesite, stone, granite, polished granite, anything like that. So let's make this. We're going to put this. I'm kind of a fan of andesite lately. So that's going to be our compressor. And we're going to put our compressor up 1. We're not going to put it right here. That's where I'm going to put it. You don't have to do that, but that's what I'm going to do, okay? So then the next order of business is you're going to take your gold plates or your iron plates. You're going to take 18 of each, and you're going to stick them in the compressor. Now the compressor is going to turn these down to 1 compressed or dense gold plate or dense iron plate, respectively. In the meantime, let's grab all the rest of this stuff here. Okay, and since we have everything we need, we're not worried about overusing things. So let's go to our metal former, and let's make some stuff. Okay, so I have, if you notice here, I've got 32 copper cables. That's for these here. We're gonna need 3 coils, which is 8 copper cables around 1 iron ingot. So that's 24 copper cables and 3 iron ingots. That's gonna give you 3 of these coils. We've got the machine casing. Did I go ahead and make that? No, I didn't. Okay, so that should leave me with 19. Perfect. I'm gonna take the 18. I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to stick those in there. We're going to get those compressed. Okay, so now the next thing what I want to do is I want to take I went ahead and made my machine casing, so let's make our electric circuit. Okay, I need my copper cables for that. Okay, you're going to need 6 copper cables and 6 rubber. Going to get those right there, and you've seen me make these a bunch of times before, right? So, there we go, and now if we can grab the dense iron, perfect. Now we have everything we need. So what we're going to do now is we're going to come in here and we're going to make this first crate. We're going to make 2 of these wooden casing, okay? And then from there we're going to make this crate. So you're going to need 4 chests, 1 dense iron, one dense gold, and then 2 diamonds. These are crates. We're going to need 2 of those, okay? So then we're going to come back in here. We're going to take our toolbox. We're going to shift click. We're going to make 2 toolboxes, and then we can make our metal farmer. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Took a little bit of planning, but now, guys, check this out. So we can take our iron. So let's do this. Let's just take, because we're going to need some iron for what we're going to be making next. Okay, so we're going to be taking our iron. So let's, I always forget which one that's in. Let's just do one at a time here. So now normally one, you know, if we went all the way back to the beginning, we would need 2 iron ore to make one, iron plate. Now though, we can take this 1 iron ore and turn it into 2 plates. How awesome is that? Getting that metal former is huge. Now let me teach you how to use this thing. Let's also grab some copper for the sake of things. Yeah, I'm really low on copper. I need to spend some time on that copper level, and yeah, get me some copper because we're gonna need a bunch of it. Okay, so we'll cook up some copper here too, and we're gonna do a couple things. I'm gonna show you how to do this a couple different ways. Okay, so this is finishing up here. Sorry about the little delay there. Okay, very good. Kind of flying through things today, aren't we? All right, let's grab some more of you. I'm sure I've got plenty in there already. Okay, so let's cook the iron or the copper, and we'll cook the iron there. And let's go put you away. Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever need that much bronze, but we may need it in the future. That'll be good to have later. While that's cooking, I kind of want to show you what I did with the rubber over here. So I went ahead and I extended this all the way out. I went and found one more sapling, planted that sapling, and in that I grabbed like 2 or 3 more, and then while breaking down those leaves I grabbed 2 or 3 more, and kind of so on and so forth. And so now what I do is I just come through here and I just kind of pull out anything, you know, just one single click with my tree tap. You're going to need to make more than one. More than one. I think a brand new one will go through this once and then it'll be broken. Yeah, but it gives me tons of resin, which is great. And I'd like to start building the exterior to this thing. I've got some ideas what I want to do, some cool shapes, and maybe we'll do that, you know, one of these evenings, and I can come back and show you how cool it looks, or not. Alright, so now let's head to our metal former, and I'm going to show you kind of the different settings that we have in here. So, okay, so you've got rolling, which is going to make, it's got the same picture as this, right? Rolling, we've got cutting, which is the same picture as this. So these two do the same thing, and then there's extruding. Now, okay, if I were to make an iron plate, right, if I were going to go through the steps and make myself an iron plate, right, and then I take that iron plate and run it through the cutting machine, this is going to give me, predictably, 2 copper cables, right? Yes. Oh, come on, go faster. Okay, that's 2 copper cables. Now, if I go straight to extruding and I stick an ingot in here, the extruder is going to take that iron ingot and turn it into 3. So, that is better. That is way better. Now, we're already running out of power. And that's just, you know, what we need to do is we need to stick coal coke in here. So I need to start making some coal coke. So that's how that works. That's how the metal former works. You're gonna make sure before you stick anything in here, you're gonna make sure that this is on the correct setting, and then that's gonna turn your single ingot into a plate. One thing I wanted to show you real quick is this coke oven is gonna fill up with the creosote oil really quickly. So what I did was I stuck a crafting station here and just kind of filled it with planks in a pattern of a chest. And then I just come in here and I shift click my bucket in there. It turns into a creosote bucket. I shift click it back into my inventory, shift click the planks out in the bucket, back and forth. So it's kind of a repetitive pattern, but it is one way to keep the creosote out of your coke oven, and you can make really beautiful planks with this. So the treated planks look really good. I love that color. We're going to be using that for probably one of our floors upstairs, and yeah, probably when we get into the immersive engineering mod, which we probably will pretty soon. I mean, there's some things we can probably make right away that that use these planks. You know, like there's something called a water wheel. Let me show you. This makes some pretty good energy probably. So let's take a look at the water wheel here. So the water wheel. This is going to take steel. So now that we can make, we can't make steel yet. When we can make steel, we can make this water wheel. And the water wheel looks really cool. It's like a 4x4, maybe 5x5, maybe 6x6. It's big. It's big. And each of these produces, like you can put 3 of these next to each other, which is great. And then what we're going to also need for that is we're going to need a rotational, nope. Let's do immersive. I should be able to find it this way, maybe. I forget what it's called. This here? Kinetic dynamo. Yeah, of course. Okay, so the kinetic dynamo is going to take the rotational energy of the water wheels and turn it into RF. Okay, so we're going to actually need to get into immersive engineering. Copper wire shears. Interesting. Okay. Anyway, so that's something we'll be looking forward to because it looks really, really neat. But now we have a piece of coal coke. We're going to run back over here and we're going to stick this. This is going to burn forever. Actually, the burn time for the coal coke is significant. So it's twice as long as regular coal. So this is going to burn for a long time. Going to produce a lot of energy, which is great. Alright, so the next thing on my radar, let's actually take a look at the book because, well, let's see, blast furnace is talking about this blast furnace thing here, okay? Let's see, early game, solid power options beside the normal generator are solar panels, wind turbines, and semi-fluid generators that can run on the tier 2 canola oil. I don't know what that means. Assuming it means these canola, where are my canola seeds? Right here? Yeah, so if we come in here and we harvest this canola crop all the way over, you notice that we get canola with it. So now if we, I don't know anything about canola, but we're going to need a canola press and maybe a fermenting barrel, but we can't make that just yet. So we're going to need to do, let's actually look this up. Using canola, you can make simple yet effective power generation system through natural resources, which is awesome. To do this, to find some canola plants, which we have. The canola you get can be used in a press to make oil. We can't make the press yet because we don't have the way to make Inori crystals yet. But once we get that, then we can use that oil in a generator. But where does it talk about the tier 2? Fermenting barrel can have a okay. What does a fermenting barrel do? If you break the oil generator, will keep a liquid inside. That's good to know. It's not talking about tier 2 though, so let's, okay, here we go. Empowered oil. I wonder if that's what it meant by the crystallized oil. Okay, so let's go back up here. For starters, you can use the fermenting barrel to convert canola oil into oil. If you're still not satisfied with the power that generates, place it on the ground and throw a crystallized canola seed to make crystallized oil. If that isn't enough for you either, make empowered canola seed, toss it. Okay, well, I don't know anything about that. But, so it sounds like we need this canola press, which we're going to need this Inori crystal. We can't make an Inori crystal just yet. We need something else. So that's something we're going to keep in mind for power down the road for EU because we're going to need that. That's going to be great. Semi-fluid generator. Solar panels are expensive. That's just, I mean, there's no other way around it. Very, very expensive. So let me come in here and I'll show you what I mean. So one solar panel, so this generator here produces 10 EU per tick. Now it does consume fuel in order to do that, but look at this. This solar panel takes a generator plus 2 electric circuits and some other things that are pretty cheap, so that's not really what matters, So 2 control circuits and a generator to produce 1 EU per tick. Okay. Now, it's passive. It doesn't consume any power. If you take, where is the solar array? Did I pass it? I must have passed it. I thought that was it here. Advanced solar. No. Let's do solar. Here we go. So this is from Compact Solar Array. So low voltage solar array takes 8 of those solar panels. Okay. So this is potentially 80 RF per tick, or 80 EU per tick, while consuming coal or whatever, consuming fuel, plus a low voltage transformer, which isn't really that bad, you know, some whatever. So let's just ignore that because that's pretty cheap. So eight of these to make 8 EU per tick, passively, only during the day. I think that's insane. That needs to be rebalanced. That needs to be at least. I realize it's free power, but that's nuts, man. Like, this is 10. This should be at least 5, I think. Kind of compensate. So we're not going to go with solar. The other option they mentioned here is wind turbines. Wind turbines are very. I don't like wind turbines. They have to be a specific. They have to be way up in the sky. So you got to run like all your cables way up. Like, I mean, block 240 or something, way up there, way up there. And there's actually a sweet spot. So as you go up and down, you can kind of like gauge. I think there's a gauge you can find where the sweet spot is. It might be like 180 or something, way up there. And then you've got to run cable all the way down, only for like meager. Like I didn't even look into how much power it is, only because that just sounds nuts. Like I don't want to have cables all the way from. I mean, yeah, I don't want to do that either. So we're gonna be stuck with the normal generator for a while until we can make the second tier canola oil. Okay, which means we might make another generator. We might make a second generator with a second bat box and stick these next to each other here. Okay, and we'll power those with various coal type items. But the next thing on the list, is to make blast furnace. It needs heat, not EU, so you need to craft an electric heater filled with at least 1 coil to convert EU to heat. Okay, so now I'm going to just kind of summarize this up right here. So the reason why we put the compressor up here is because we're going to put a heater here, electric heater here. It's going to be facing up into a blast furnace that sits here. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to make 2 of them. Blast furnace here and a blast furnace on the other side. Now, the blast furnace, if we come down here to keep reading here, the blast furnace needs universal fluid cells filled with air, which you can get from a compressor. So now these universal fluid cells right here take a glass pane and then item tin casing. So now that we can make those in the metal former here, it's going to be a lot better. Okay, so we're going to make, I don't know how many of these we're going to need to make. I mean, no more than probably 4. Probably not too many, because what we're going to do is we're going to make something called ejector upgrade right here. We're going to make 3 of these, maybe 4 of these, and it's just tin plates around a piston. Really easy. And we're going to put one of those in here, one in this, and one in this. And what's going to happen is when the compressor compresses that into compressed air, it'll kick it off into one of the furnaces here. Now, I don't think I think we're gonna have to manage that quite a bit, and that may not be conducive. We may need to make a lot of these, of the casings or whatever. Well, we'll see. That's we'll mess around with it. We want that to be kind of efficient. And then that's going to make our steel. These blast furnaces are going to make our steel. So that's going to be what we're going to be looking at for the next episode. I think that's all we're going to be doing today, guys. I'm going to get prepared for the next episode, put everything together, kind of like I did today, and then we'll kind of mess around and have some good times with it. All right, guys. Hope you have a good one. Thanks for watching.